thought to be linked to the Islamic State. Back in 2014, the Sierra Leone outbreak resulted in over 28,000 infections and roughly 11,000 dead. It's no wonder that we are seeing immigrants from the Congo crossing the U.S.'s southwestern border. Recently, U.S. Border Patrol reported they had apprehended 15 immigrants from Congo. We Build the Wall crowdsourcing founder Brian Kolpich posted on his Facebook page claiming an as-yet unconfirmed DHS insider exposed to him U.S. Congo migrants have made it to the USA with confirmed cases of Ebola. 3 are in custody in Laredo, Texas.
Unbelievable.
6 in Laredo, Mexico, and in Juarez, right next to their wall. But even if Kolpach's information is flawed, what's to stop Ebola from spreading amongst refugees south of the border? And then what? Over 1 million immigrants will cross the border in 2019 alone, and they are being flown and bussed all over the United States on the taxpayers' dime. Ebola can take up to 21 days to manifest. That gives an infected immigrant roughly 3 weeks to illegally enter the country and spread Ebola via body fluids. Fortunately, hospital staff in the United States have been trained due to the international panic from the 2014 Sierra Leone outbreak.
At present, the risk to our nation directly is extremely low just because of where this is. That may change if we get outbreaks if it spreads into Goma or into Kinshasa or into Kampala or something like that if this sort of dwells on. But we do have a very effective screening program now that we've developed in a sense as a consequence of that 2014 experience. So I do think we're very prepared here. This is why I come back and say, and I'll say to you and in general for our
Yeah, they even trained people in Missouri 2 weeks ago.
Detect, respond, and prevent these outbreaks where they start.
But why would we disregard national security to a degree that puts us all at risk? Is it simply to satisfy the Democrats' fantasy that there is no crisis on the border?
Last month alone,
oh, it is a crisis.
44,000 people come into our country illegally. It is overwhelming our system. President Trump made it clear that Mexico must do more. Yesterday, the President directed us, myself, the Secretary of State, and our team to meet with a Mexican delegation at their request and hear them out.
Vamonos!
Progress was made. The Mexican delegation brought forward proposals, but as the President said last night, it was not nearly enough. And we made it clear yesterday at the White House that Mexico must do significantly more.
I think it's safe to say you've talked to all of our members. We're not fans of tariffs. We're still hoping that this could be avoided. At the same time, it's way past time the President's request for assistance from our government be met. I mean, we walked out of here after we did this supplemental, and the Democrats insisted on taking out of the supplemental they just passed in the House yesterday anything to address the humanitarian crisis at the border that would be funded by Health and Human Services.
We all believe that immigration is the constant reinvigoration of America, enriching America with immigrants, enriching America with their hopes, their dreams.
Oh yeah, enrich it with Ebola, god damn it.
It's really a happy day because
oh
the
yes.
gold standard. They love America, they're patriotic.
How can the government claim they have an interest in national security and continue a position of open borders where millions of U.S. citizens could die from diseases crossing that border? John Bound reporting.
So you can find that video, just like all videos you see here today, on Infowars.com. Those exclusive videos from San Antonio coming up later in this hour. And then in the third hour, I will be joined by Revenge of the Sis to talk about the destructive practices of YouTube and Google at large, as well as other big tech media companies, because they have really gone full force. And you see it in every angle. You see the illegal immigration conflict boiling over. You see the censorship conflict boiling over. You see all of this everywhere boiling over. You even see in California, you have these clusters of earthquakes that scientists say may presage a greater earthquake, a much larger seismic event. It's like the Earth itself is readying itself for a massive change. This is the combination of the spiritual and the physical that seems to manifest in this weird sci-fi sort of way every time we have these big movements in humanity. It's like the Earth itself responds. And of course, if you study quantum mechanics, you know that consciousness itself does have an effect on the physical world, and that's why it's so important to be aware of what reality is, be aware of what is going around worldwide, and be tuned in